Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. I'm excited to be offering up my monthly freebies to you again on this Freebie Friday. So here is a quick peek at what we've got going on, but let's go ahead and dive into the first freebie I have for you, which is the monthly sketch. All right, if you're new here, I offer 3 different freebies every month, one of them being this sketch. We'll talk about the others in a moment. And then I usually do a project with these freebies so that you can see kind of some of the ideas I had behind the designs. But I've separated out that video into a separate video, and you can catch that up in the corner link or down in the description link, because that video is also part of another project hop. So I wanted to keep these 2 videos separated out so that whoever's interested in one or the other can catch just the content they need. At any rate, here's the sketch this month around. It features 4 smaller photos. These are 2 by 3 inch photos with little photo pockets that you can tuck tags behind to expand on your journaling, and you will definitely see me do that in that project video. So if you want to catch that, be sure to hit the links. Let's go ahead and move on to the other freebies for this time around. All right, we'll move over to the live view where I'm showing off the cut file for this time around. Now the main cut file is that sun frame over there, and this is the size that it is designed at, but remember that cut files are resizable, so you can make it smaller to fit on your project. This is designed for 12 by 12. Now, when you are cutting on a Cricut or Silhouette, there's usually a small amount of border that each machine requires in order to make that final cut. And my Cricut has a larger border than the Silhouette does. So you won't get a full 12 by 12 cut, but it'll leave a little bit of a frame behind there for you. All right, I do not like backing cut files, and I did not use cut files for a long time because of this. So when I design my cut files, most of the time I will also include the pieces that you need to back them. And if you don't want to do one solid color for these backings, you could always use this as a template to trace on other pieces of paper to do individual backing. But if you're like me and you want to keep it simpler, then I've included these pieces for you. So we have the rays that fill in the sunshine, and you can make sure that when you have them on your mat to keep them upright so that you know which way they go, but there is a smaller ray and a larger ray, so that can help you line them up. Then I also have the circle that will be the center of the sunshine, and you can cut that out of the same pattern paper or a different pattern paper if you want. So I'm just giving kind of one example here of using scrap papers from my stash of how you can layer up the sun. And then the final piece to this to this cut file is the backing to the rays. Now, the reason I made the backing, because of that border that I mentioned before, you can back this with another piece of paper and then layer it on top of your background paper, and that will be your border. Or you can just put it straight on whatever decorative background paper you want, and then you have the same border as you will the infill to the sunshine. All right, that covers the cut file. Oh, I forgot. I did want to say that don't forget that when you cut these things out, you have a whole bunch of leftover bits and pieces, and use those. Don't just toss them out. Be creative with them. You could use them as a stencil for stenciling. You could use them as, this piece makes a great additional sunshine piece. But what I was really, what caught my attention, that's the piece that I think could be great for a stencil. And then you have circles that you can use as embellishments or whatnot. The pieces that are left over from cutting out the sunshine frame totally reminded me of clock hands, especially when you've got one of those circles left over from the center of the sunshine. So here I am putting it together. So yeah, be creative and use your leftover pieces. And while I finish that up, I just want to say that all of these files will be available for download on my blog. I will pop up a link on the screen so that you can get to the freebie section of my blog, and all the links will be down below so that you can find your way to get these freebies if you're interested. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the last freebie of the day. And these are actually new. This type of freebie, the printable freebies, are new for this year. So if you've missed my past freebies, I have sketches going back for years. I have cut files going back for a couple of years. And then these printables go back to the beginning of January. And you can see everything that I've got over on my blog. All right, this time around, my theme was these cute little bees, which I turned into a birds and bees theme. So we've got some florals, we've got some birds, we've got kind of this drippy honey-like journaling card. We've got a frame, some wood grain textures, and a couple of little phrases. So if you're new here and you don't know, my files can be used as a print and cut on your cutting machine. And if you don't know how to use that print and cut feature on your cutting machine, I do have a couple of tutorial videos there. And here's this little bee. I just had so much fun creating these little bees. It did take me a while, but these are freebies, if you don't know, because I am learning digital art skills. So sometimes this stuff does take me a little bit of time, and I go in different directions and try different things. And at any rate, if you don't have a cutting machine to help you cut these out, I try to create them to be fussy cuttable in the easiest ways possible. Now, the circle elements will be easy to punch out with a 1-inch circle punch if you have that. All the other elements, I try to keep the lines as simple as possible. Now, with the word phrases, I do have little loops from the letters that do overhang the outline of the shape. So it's up to you how you want to best fussy cut that out. So I try to make it simple to save headaches, because I know not everybody likes to fussy cut. And then I did kind of slip past it, but here is a sheet of printable pattern paper as well, because I want you to be able to print at home. It is 8.5 by 11. At some point in the future, maybe next year, I will be offering 12 by 12s. And I do keep them lighter in color so that it doesn't cost you a ton of ink. All right, that is it for the freebies. If you want to check out the project that I made with these freebies, go ahead and click up the link in the corner or find the link in the description below of the layout process video that I have featuring these freebies, which is also a part of another group hop that features buttons and brads. So if you want to check out that, go off and do that. Otherwise, I will be back on Monday for more projects for you. My brain is blanking on what that might be, but until then, have an artful day.